Well, back here in the courtyard outside Blenheim Palace here for the Summer Jaguar Festival for 2019, and we've just recovered from a fantastic parade. Thanks to CMC for supporting that, and thanks of course to all of the wonderful Jaguar owners who came out to join us to lay that on for us. Very special interview now, because I have here with me Nigel Thorley, who is of course the editor of the Jaguar Enthusiast Magazine, and well, a world-renowned expert on Jaguar of course. Nigel, it's a real pleasure to have you here to talk to us. So it's been a lovely, lovely day, hasn't it?
Marvellous, fantastic. The weather came good, which was one of the big things, because always people plan around good weather, and fortunately it's come good for us, so we've got an excellent turnout.
Let's chat a little bit about the big anniversary this year, of course, the Mark II, celebrating 60 years. This was a real big moment for Jaguar when it was launched in 1959, wasn't it?
Oh, it was tremendous. I think for lots of reasons. First of all, because their trial in producing a small compact saloon from 1955 with the Mark I, as we now know it, was a great success. But they needed to tweak it and get it right for various things that have proven not to be suitable. And 1959, with the launch of the motor show, it was sort of coinciding with the launch of the motorway era, because of how fast performance cars were required, because most cars of those days are 50, 60 miles an hour, they were revving the guts out, and so to get a fast sporting saloon like the Mark II, it could generally do 120 miles an hour. It was just exactly what the world was looking for. And when you think, when it came out of the motor show in October at £1,530, it was the not just one of the cheapest cars of its class around, but most importantly, it was the fastest production saloon car in the world you could buy.
Well, of course, Sir William Lowndes always used the grace, pace, space mantra, didn't he? And it just fitted
grace,
every
space
one of
and
those.
pace is a great
And of course, it's synonymous now, the Mark II, with the Inspector Morse, and we've got the Endeavour Mark I here as well. But they were also known for more dodgy things during the 1960s, weren't
Yes,
they?
yeah. It's a certain fact that 80% of the British police forces had Mark IIs at some time, but about 90% of all the crooks did as well. It was a great getaway car.
And of course, they were popular with the racing drivers at the time as well.
Oh, of course, a great rally and racing car. It was exactly what the drivers were looking for. Not only could they race and rally them, but they could drive them home afterwards.
If we look back a few years before the Mark II was released, of course, mid-1950s, the C-types and the D-types had that success at Le Mans. And before that success, Jaguar, although established, wasn't really a household name yet, was it? But it was that sealed the deal.
It started with the SK120, really, because the pre-war cars were pre-war. They were built in much smaller quantities. But once the SK120 came out at the motor show, the first British motor show after the war, it created such a stir, because it really was way ahead of its time. That wonderful twin camshaft engine, which you would have paid a fortune for if you're buying it on a Ferrari or something like the Maserati of the 1930s. To have that in a car that was £998, which is fantastic, and it had the performance to go with it, as Jaguar proved in the early 50s.
One of the brilliant cars, of course, the XK150S, which has not only the badge on the boot lid celebrating those victories, but the C-type engine underneath as well.
That's right, yeah, exactly, yeah. Triple carburetors, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
And it was really good to talk to the TWR team earlier on this weekend over at Haythrop Park Hotel. What are your memories of TWR back in the day?
Well, I saw them race. I went to Donington, particularly saw them race, and it was a bit like the Broadspeed era of British Leyland with the XJ Coupes. Everybody willed them to be a success. The atmosphere was just fantastic, because there were British cars, a British audience, and it was we all wanted. We'd been dominated so long by the likes of BMWs, etc., that it was exactly what we wanted. And a great success for Jaguar. I mean, racing builds success for manufacturers, as Ferrari know and everybody else knows for Formula One. And it was just as good in those days as the European Touring Car Championship. Jaguar did well with the Mark II in the early 60s, and once the XJS came out, although it had to be tweaked a lot to do the performance and the fuel economy required, it was a tremendous success. It just boosted the sales of the XJS dramatically.
Of course, win on Sunday and sell on Monday was the mantra, wasn't it?
Yeah. I always call the XJS the cat of nine lives, because I can identify 9 times its lifetime when it just got better or the sales improved. And the biggest move was once it started winning races, because it boosted the sales no end.
So to sum up then, Nigel, from Blenheim here, and of course as editor of the club magazine, the Jaguar Enthusiast Club, who have put all of this on, obviously there'll be coverage in the magazine, but tell us a little bit more about the magazine. You've been doing it for many, many years.
I've done it since the start of the club, yes.
It's a great publication, isn't it?
Yes, well, I hope it is, yes. 140 pages. We've grown over the years. We're in a fortunate position with the Jaguar Enthusiast Club. First of all, we get a lot of contributors for it. And secondly, we've got an ever-increasing range of models from Jaguar. Unlike many brands which have gone by the wayside these days, where you even sanctioned it to 2 or 3 different models, with Jaguar it's never ending. That just created a problem in the magazine magazine, of course, because you've got to make big space for all this. Because if you don't cover a particular model 1 month, all the owners of those cars and the enthusiasts will ring you up and say, why haven't I got some coverage this month? But for the June magazine, we're going to complete redesign of the magazine. We had a questionnaire at the beginning of the year, and from that we've taken on the board a lot of the queries and questions from members and ideas. So you'll see a brand new magazine in June, and hopefully everybody will enjoy it.
Exciting, and you heard it here first.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Exclusive news. Well, Nigel, thank you so much. I won't keep you from mingling amongst the cars.
I'll just mention one thing for anybody who's here today on the parade. I've taken pictures of every car on the parade, every car.
Great.
So I'll be putting it in the magazine. We'll supply copies for everybody.
Superb.
Okay.
Nigel Thorley, editor of Jaguar Enthusiast Club magazine, thank you very much.
Thank you.